My name's Bella, and I'm from Wetherill Park and Fountain.
My name's Isabella, and I'm from Fountain in the city. And welcome to Connect.
So we are so excited to be at this event. So amazing to see all of you here joining us. So for those who may not know what Connect is entirely, maybe it's your first time here. Basically, this is the second time that we're running this really awesome event. And with this event, the purpose of it is to really bring about very genuine connections between you here as many of us here are from different churches. It's really awesome to bring that unity between different Christians. And as well, we will be having some really powerful messages to also listen to ours.
It's perfect. And also Connect, what is so great about it, and being that it's the second one, is that it brings not only different churches together, but different types of people from different walks of life and different nationalities. And so I'm Isabella, and I'm from Fountain in the City, but I also was born in the Philippines, so I'd like to say Maligayang Sabado.
And I'm from Peru, where we speak Spanish. So in Spanish, to say happy Sabbath is Feliz Sábado. So what we're going to get, because I'm sure there's a lot of us here from different...
Hey, so it's great to hear a lot of you connecting, and I heard different languages. I heard a lot of English, Happy Sabbath, but it's really great to see that there's so many different people here that we can meet, and that's what Connect is all about. So maybe if we come back, we'll focus on the program ahead, and if for those of you who might not know what's happening, because maybe you haven't paid attention to any of the ads, if you can get out your phone, and if you want to scan the QR code on the screen right there, it'll tell you all about what's happening this morning and right up till this afternoon. So it'll tell you the session time are and tell you when lunch is for us especially. So make sure, give you a few seconds to scan the program now and find out what's going on the whole day, pretty much. So please don't go anywhere, and make sure if you have any other questions, let Bella and I know.
And now I'm going to invite up the praise and worship team as they're going to lead out our songs for the morning. And the praise and worship team is from Wetherill Park Spanish Church.
We have a few of our musicians from Fountain in the city, so it's a perfect blend of the Bellas, but also our different churches, so looking forward to praise and worship.
Happy Sabbath, everyone. To see all of you here today, and my name is Randy, and I'm from Fountain, the city as well. And it's a privilege this year to be able to work with the Connect team to host this event together today. We actually, I think we have, David, how many people registered? 100 something? 131. So we're expecting more people to come today, and Fountain, the City Church will join as well in the afternoon. So we're expecting a packed church today, so everyone welcome. It's awesome to be able to see you here. And yeah, today I'm just gonna talk a bit about what Connect is and why we're doing what we're doing. And for those of you who don't know, this was probably the start of Connect. I think it was 12 August 2022, something like that. When everyone just came back from one of the youth conferences 2 years ago, they felt the need of having a group of young people that are like-minded. You know, a group of young people that they can share and be able to grow together with. When they face challenges in life, they can go to each other and be able to be supported. And you know, at that time, you can see there's some people from Waitara, Ryde, as well as Dundas, thought about this idea. And honestly, I remember when David called me and asked, you know, Randy, can Fountain in the City join? At first I was like, I don't know. Should we? But with, you know, sometimes with all of these things, we're like, oh, would it be just an event? Would it be just something that is just once a year, all kind of thing? But after talking to David, talking to the board and the rest of the youth team, as well from Fountain, we realized the importance of having a connection, especially with the people that you don't see every week, right? It's easy to make a connection with people in your churches, but sometimes it's not easy to go beyond that. And as a result of that, last year we did our first Connect 2022. I know that some of you were there, so we held it in Dundas, and it was such a good experience, even though I don't know, we're there and we're able to share that time. And we actually, the effect of Connect, so these two pictures here was an example of what happened afterwards. So in I think April this year, the youth department from the Greater Sydney Conference were running a youth big camp. And here we started to have different socials as well that runs. So this was the first one actually that ran at Fountain. And you can see that as I flick through the pictures that the numbers of people that comes to the social increases every single time. So this was the one that hosted by Ryde. We got the one that hosted by Waitara, more people there. And last week we had a social that was run by the Wetherill Park Church, who was able to join us as well for Connect 2023, and in actually helping us to organize this. And we're blessed to have all of you guys, and thank you for leading out and be participating in it. But ultimately, this year, we decided to refine basically our mission and purpose to these three simple things. You know, if you ask why Connect, this is the reason. You know, we want to be a place where each one of you can connect more to God. We want to be a place where all of you can connect to one another more. And more importantly, at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is that we are more united as we go mission for Jesus. And these three will be highlighted today by Pastor Josh. So as we go through the messages, keep this in mind. And hopefully at the end of today, you can be more connected to God, you can be more connected to others, and you can be more connected to mission as well. I just want to leave all of you with this message from Ellen G. White. And it's counsel for the church, and it's saying the importance of having unity and having connection. It says there, strive earnestly for unity. Pray for it, work for it. It will bring spiritual health, elevation of thought, nobility of character, heavenly mindedness, enabling you to overcome selfishness and evil surmising, and to be more than conquerors through him that loved you and gave himself for you. Union is strength, and division is weakness. When those who believe present truth are united, when all of us are connected, we exert a telling influence to others around us. Satan understands this. Never was he more determined than now to make of none effect the truth of God by causing bitterness and dissension among the Lord's people. At a time like today where there's so many division, there's so many, there's wars happening, there's a lot of things that are happening outside our church. How important it is that as a church family, that all of us are connected together. So I hope all of you is going to be blessed today. We hope that all of you will make that connections, and more importantly, that we can be more connected together as well.
Thank you, Randy. And so we'll move on to our next segment, which personally for me will be very interesting because we were talking, Randy was saying, Connect is about connecting with God, with others, and with mission. And one of the ways that we can really exemplify this and we can know what it is about is when we talk to one another. This whole group is all about wanting to get to know one another more on a personal level. And what better way to do that than have a testimony time? So I'd like to invite Luca to the stage. Luca will be sharing his message, his testimony this morning. So I'll give you a mic here, Luca. And I know you have a presentation for us planned. But before we start, because it's connecting, we want to connect, we want to know who you are. I actually don't know who you are. And so you're Luca from Waitara. So Luca from Waitara, tell us more about you. What do you do? Do you work? Do you study?
Let's see. Yeah, there you go. It's working. Thank you for having me. Yes, my name is Luca. I do work. I work as a wildlife photographer, and I have been doing so for the last 6 years. And basically working in the bush, working with animals, and having a really good time out there connecting with animals and Jesus as well.
Amazing. So I never had any questions lined up, but you just gave me a great segue. So what's the best place you've been in all your kind of photography outings?
I'd say one of my favorite places was Cape York, so the tip of Queensland, which is really, really nice, really, really hot as well. So
very nice. And what is have you ever been in a scary situation? Because you're a wildlife photographer, right? You'd be out and about. What's the kind of, twofold. What's the best animal you've ever shot, and what's the scariest encounter you've had?
So, scariest animal I've ever encountered was probably saltwater crocodile. Also, probably very much scared of because it kind of attacked me a little bit. Also, when I was in Cape York, you can ask me about that a little bit later. Best wildlife encounter, the one I'm going to share today a little bit about, which is dingoes. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, perfect. Very Australian for the audience here. And maybe my last question will be, again, we're all about connecting. We want to know each other on a personal level because we're all from different churches. And so, Luca, if any of us want to approach you this afternoon, later today, what are 3 things that would be great conversation starters to talk to you about?
Anything really. If you want to ask about interests, I'm a skateboarder, a snowboarder, and a surfer. So, and I do like rock climbing as well. So if you want to talk about any of those things, you can absolutely ask me that. And I think that's your 4. There's 4 topics right there that you can go for.
Perfect. Thanks you, Luca. So if you want to know more about skateboarding, snowboarding, all the outdoor stuff, please say hi to Luca later this morning and later this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Thanks for having me, everyone. As you've already heard. And I brought you something very special today because leading up to Connect, we're talking about how we can connect with people. And I think a big thing as well is that God sometimes pushes you to do that type of stuff. And it's interesting how he does it as well. As I told you a little bit before, I would be talking about dingoes. So this is a project of mine that started a little while ago, roughly about 2-3 years ago, where I was praying about it, and I was like, God, what do you want me to do next? I know that you have a next project planned for me, and the big thing is working as a wildlife photographer, you're always waiting for the next thing, and especially for me, the person that gives it to me is Jesus. So praying about it, I encountered a good, for those of you that don't know, there's 5 subspecies of dingoes in Australia. So you got desert dingoes, you got forest dingoes, you got coastal dingoes, you got alpine dingoes, and all of those right there. I specifically wanted to work with coastal dingoes because look at that. That's an amazing animal to work with. Look at that golden fur right there on that back, and look at that scenery that you're encountering every single day you're out there. They're really, really, really really cool. These are probably the biggest land mammal that you can encounter in Australia if you forget about saltwater crocodiles for a little bit. Saltwater crocodiles are more water-based though. But yeah, what's really cool about these guys is that they can walk about, well, they usually walk one of the dingoes I encountered, and just the very big landscape that they cover every day. They do this to hunt for food and to patrol their territory as well. So they want to keep every other dingo that's not in their pack outside of their territory. They're very social as well. So they will fight with each other. They will have family members. They usually have packs around 5 or 6. And then you'll have an alpha female, an alpha male, and then a couple of juveniles and offspring, and they'll be together. And this is my favorite bit of working with dingoes, which is they're probably the cutest animal you can encounter in the Australian landscape, just because, look at that face. Look at those paws right there, those chubby paws. So that was the idea leading up to the project, where I wanted to work with dingoes, but I also had a lead and I didn't know what going into it. But the other side of the project as well is the photographer side, which is me. It's the guy that's going to work on the project. So you've also probably heard of wildlife photographer stereotypes, and you've probably know that wildlife photographers like being alone in the middle of the bush. They don't like to be disturbed. They like to be in camouflages. They don't really interact with anyone. If someone pokes them, they'll be mad at you. And well, it's not too far off. The stereotypes are probably true. Whenever you're in there, you just want to interact with animals, and you're not really wanting to interact with wildlife. Oh, sorry, just with wildlife, not with people. But God has a funny way of doing this. So about 3 years ago, when I approached this project for the first time, I prayed about it a lot, and woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, drove to the spot where I had the lead. And usually first day you have a reconnaissance, you're looking for clues that the animal is there, and you're looking for a proof of concept before you develop the project, and you spend some time in developing the project. First thing, when I got there after a long time of driving,